Hey everyone, it's Haley, and today I'm going to be doing my May TBR. So May is my first full month of summer, so I actually have quite a bit of reading time other than the portfolio that I have to write. I'm pretty much entirely free other than work and YouTube and just that portfolio. I have a bunch of free time, so I am planning on reading a ton of stuff. The first book that I'm hoping to get to in May is The Glittering Quart by Richelle Mead. This was on my April TBR. I got an arc of it and I just never have gotten to it. I just keep on getting distracted by other books, but I'm really intrigued by this book and I think it's something I'll really like, so I do want to get to it so I can get a review up for you guys. This book is about a girl who's pretty well off, but she's being forced into marriage, so she goes to the glittering court, which is normally for poor girls who are learning to be kind of aristocrats like she is. She goes there to kind of have a second chance at life. So she has to pretend to be poor like these other girls, and she has to pretend that she isn't who she actually is, and that gets complicated because of the relationships that she's making, and the whole entire thing is kind of a ruse and they don't know that. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but this book sounds really cool. It's kind of reminiscent of Victorian England is what I've heard, and I love Victorian England, so I think this is going to be really awesome. And it kind of reminds me of Etiquette and Espionage by Gail Carriger, which is a series I've been reading recently and absolutely loving, so if it's anything like that kind of idea, I think I'll really enjoy it. Next is Simon vs. the Homosapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. This book has been getting a lot of buzz around it when it was first released, and I just have not gotten to it yet, but I'm planning on doing a contemporary recommendations video next month, so I want to read a bunch of the contemporaries on my shelf so then I can give you guys a very thorough recommendations video. And this one I have heard is just absolutely fabulous. It's about a boy who is very gay, but he's not out yet, and it's kind of his struggles with that and his sexuality and dealing with that in terms of people like not knowing about it and how he kind of interacts with people. I think it sounds like it's going to be really great. I think the topic is really relevant, so I'm very interested to see how it's dealt with. I've just heard it's really witty and fun, and I'm super intrigued by this book. Next is More Happy Than Not by Silvera. This one is kind of the same idea as the last book. It also deals with sexuality, but it also deals with such prevalent issues as race and class and all that stuff, so it sounds like it's going to be a really cool book, and I've heard fantastic things about this one as well. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I don't know why, but I do really want to get to it. I'm just very intrigued by it, and I'm hoping it lives up to all the hype. Next is Rebel of the Sands by Allwyn Hamilton. This was one of my most anticipated releases for winter of this year, and I got it in the uppercase box, and I was so excited about it, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. But it sounds like it's going to be a really cool fantasy. It takes place in the desert. It's kind of that sort of Wrath in the Dawn sort of feel, which I've been super into lately, so I think that I will really enjoy this one, and I'm really excited to try the little uppercase page by page thing where you go to their website and you enter the code and the page, and when you're on that page number, and then there's like discussions there and stuff. It sounds like it's going to be super cool, and I'm really excited to try that out. And I just think that this book has lots of potential, and I've heard mixed things about it, so I'm very interested to see what I'm gonna think about it. Next is Walk on Earth a Stranger by Carson. You guys know I have been super intrigued by this book ever since I got it back in like January, but I just haven't picked it up yet for whatever reason. Actually, it's because I haven't been reading a lot. Well, I hadn't been reading a lot recently. But now that I'm reading again, I really want to pick this one up. It's about a girl who can sense gold, and it's in the time of the gold rush, so it sounds like it's going to be a really, really cool historical fiction. I've heard fabulous things about Carson, so I'm really anticipating that this is going to be a fabulous book, and I'm hoping it lives up to my expectations. Next is Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. I love Ruta Sepetys. I read Between Shades of Grey by her, and I absolutely adored that book. I just thought it was so well done, and I think she just knows how to write historical fiction. This is her latest release, and it got so much buzz around when it came out, and I just never got to it. And I started reading it, but I never ended up finishing it, and I just really want to see what all the hype is about this book, and I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fabulous. It sounds amazing. It follows, I believe, 4 different characters in World War II, and it just sounds like it's going to be so cool, and I believe they're all refugees, so it's a really like prevalent issue, and I'm just so intrigued by this book, and I think it's going to be fabulous. Next, I have 3 upcoming releases that I definitely want to read in May, but they're not out by the time I'm filming this video because it's not May yet. So first is The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. This is coming out on May 3rd, and I am so excited for this book. Just, it sounds amazing. It's about a politician's daughter who goes to live with her father after this huge scandal has happened, and I believe she walks dogs. I mean, there's dogs on the cover, so like I just love it already. Plus it's Morgan Matson. I absolutely adore Morgan Matson, so I cannot wait to read this book. It's going to be so great. I just know it. Next is The Rosen the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. This is actually coming out this upcoming week. Well, actually it'll be out by the time this video is up probably, but I cannot wait for this book. It is going to be so great. It's the second book in the Wrath and the Dawn duology. I thought it was a trilogy, but you guys all corrected me. It's a duology. I'm sorry. I don't know everything, but I'm really excited that it's a duology because you don't usually get fantasy duologies. So I think that's going to be really cool, and I'm very interested to see where the story is going to go. To be honest, I don't remember at all what happened in The Wrath and the Dawn, so I might need to give it a reread or go on recaptains because I just don't remember, but I'm super excited for this book nonetheless because I did really love The Wrath and the Dawn. And the final book on my TBR is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series trilogy. Not sure what that one's going to be. Maybe it's a duology too. I don't think it's a duology, but I think it's a trilogy. Not entirely sure, but I believe this one is a retelling of Persephone. Someone told me that the first one is like a retelling of 3 different stories, Beauty and the Beast being kind of the main one, and then this one is kind of more reminiscent of Persephone. So it sounds like it's going to be super cool, and I'm definitely intrigued to see where the story is going to go. I just love Sarah J. Maas, and I know this is going to be a fabulous and heart-wrenching story. So those are all of the books that I am planning on reading in May. Let me know what you guys are planning on reading in May, or if you've read any of these books, your thoughts on them. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!